Good morning. Tom Beal here on the morning walk. Bright and early. Actually, not even bright. It's still dark. It's pre-sunrise. So behind me, back a few blocks where that light is, that's the leading into the South Beach Pavilion Park here in Boca Raton, Florida. They have the pavilion actually under construction right now since someone before this whole pandemic thing, about a year and a few months ago, someone ran into the daggone the ending of it at the parking lot, and it's getting repaired now, so finally. But anyhow, on the morning walk, I just wanted to share some words, hopefully of inspiration, and possibly some insights that carry some wisdom with it. So a lot of contemplation on the morning walk. No one's even around. It's quiet. There's a car here and there, but it's time to think, time to listen to some powerful audios, and an hour, it's an hour round trip of walking, pretty much, a little shy of an hour, just about 4 miles. And first and foremost, Gary Halbert, one of arguably the best copywriters ever, wrote that the hour of power is one of the things that if you don't do, you need to do it. Michael Neal, good morning. Hey, good to see you, my friend. Looking forward to crossing paths with you in person again soon. It's been a crazy journey since, roughly a year ago when we crossed paths in the Baltimore area. But improvising, adapting, and overcoming. I've been enjoying your posts and excited about you and Angie's new engagement. Lots of exciting things happening. And that's part of the inspiration of today. It's like, look, a lot of changes happened in the last year, a lot that none of us saw coming. And, I counted up, actually, last time Michael and I saw each other, I counted up how many times I've had to restart in life. Like, carpet pulled out from under me, some choices that I made didn't quite work out the way I planned, and literally had to restart. And I think I'm up to about number 7. And that was roughly a year ago when all this happened, was one of those restarts. Thankfully, it's been one of those years where there was improvising, adapting, and overcoming on my part, on Michael's part, on many of our parts, where we recognized life as we knew it had changed. And if we kept doing the things that we were doing before the change, it wouldn't have worked out so tremendously well, most likely. So we had to recognize the change, adapt accordingly, and move forward accordingly. And for those who don't know Michael, he also is a family-owned funeral home business that's one of the best in his area in Pennsylvania. And he deals with the topic I'm going to bring up today more than anybody I know, which is death. Last week or so, I don't know, the days mingled together. One of my good friends, close friends from 2006, I found out had passed at a young age, I think a little bit over 50. And surprisingly, it was a shock to his family, his friends, his community. He's a great man, a great father, a great husband. And even though he claimed to be my mentee, I learned a lot from him. I'm carrying a bag of things this morning. He would carry a bag wherever he walked with an extra pair of shoes in it in case he ran into somebody that was homeless and needed shoes. That's one example of the many amazing things that Lonnie Robinson did. So he passed, and then yesterday got notified that a family member had passed at close to 90 years old. And then shortly after that call, I get a call that my grandma is on her last hours. And so I don't know this morning if she passed since I heard yesterday. But, I lost my mother at 52 years old back in 2007. I lost my father at 56 years old in 2009. And grandparents of my 4 paternal and maternal grandparents. This is my last remaining grandparent, Virginia Beal. And so, I got a call from my aunt. And when I saw the call, I realized, my aunt and I, we love each other, but we don't talk all that much. And so I got the call, I was like, oh man, I just heard of the other family member passing. I'm like, man, now I got to be prepared for this call. And so she shared with me that, my grandma is on her the doctor predicted within a day or two max. She hasn't been eating. She's down to skin and bones. And it just is reflecting on my morning walk about, wow, this journey we call life and how brief it is. regardless of when we have our last day, the reality is none of us get out of here alive. We all have that last day. We just don't know when it is. My hope is it's many years and decades from now, but none of us have a guarantee of tomorrow or next week. So the key is how to live while we still can. And even with the changes that are happening in the world, with all this that has unfolded in the past year, there are some new rules, there are some new regulations, there are some new standard operating procedures per se. And I like to compare that to Marine Corps Bootcamp, because I don't even know the date, we're coming up on it, but I'm coming up to April 2nd, 1993 is when I graduated from United States Marine Corps Bootcamp out of Parris Island, South Carolina. So around this time, 28 years ago, I was winding down and finally getting to the end of boot camp, which for those who aren't aware or haven't watched any of the movies, is a real shitty place to be while you're there. It's not comfortable. It's totally uncomfortable. It's totally painful. It's totally a new set of rules. But let me share what I learned when I got there. So I got there early January, like January 4th or 5th, 1993, and graduated April 2nd, 1993 as the honor man from my platoon. So out of 82, roughly 82 people in my platoon when it started, we graduated with maybe 60 some people. I was the honor grad, right? Chosen by the drill instructors as the leader and the one who, led the platoon to win, by the way, everything that we could win as a platoon. And that's part of the other lesson I'll try to slip in here. So right away I learned, holy crap, when I got there and getting yelled at, and no matter what you do, you're getting yelled at. It's not easy to comprehend, but you're under a new set of rules. And so life as you knew it is gone. These new set of rules were totally different. A lot of them were totally unexpected. And I had to just learn how to win with those rules. And by winning, I meant, not losing my mind, which some people did while they're in boot camp. They just can't comprehend and can't take the mental and emotional struggles that are going on, the physical struggles. And so they kind of lose their mind. So you got to, in my world, I break it down into health, relationships, and finances. And health is mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. So you got to be mentally stable, emotionally stable. That's the foundation. And then physical stableness is good too. Like making sure you're getting the proper rest, eating the proper foods, drinking the proper amount of water, taking care of yourself. All that leads to the foundation of this life. So here we are with these new rules, and it's kind of like boot camp. These are new rules, but guess what? You can still win. You can still win. You just have to say, look, it's not what it used to be. It is what it is now, good, bad, indifferent, whatever you want to call it. Here's where I am. Here's where I want to go. What is the quickest, most probable, most effective and efficient way for me to get from where I am to where I want to be? And I would recommend you break down that scenario similar to like a GPS. GPS needs to know where are you and where do you want to go. So here you are. So for me, I would recommend, just saying, okay, let me pretend this is like Marine Corps Boot Camp. There are a new set of rules. I need to cut the ties with the old rules. I need to cut the ties with the way things used to be and just totally be immersed in the present moment of, hey, it is what it is right now. Here's where I am with my health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Here's where I am with my key relationships, personally, professionally, and socially. And here's where I am in my financial situation, my today money, my tomorrow money, and my contribution. And here's where I want to go in each of those areas. And now you have that GPS. And then what I would recommend is you just cut the ties of all the past. Let go of all that baggage. Let go of all the, well, man, had I done this, or I should have done this, or I could have done this. The woulda, shoulda, coulda game. That's a loop that will lead us all to not take the proper steps now in the moment. Just recognize it. The past, there's not a single thing we can do to change one thought, one word, one action of a minute ago, an hour ago, a week ago, a year ago, a decade ago. It's all there. It's done. Cut the ties with it and just get clear now in the present moment. Where are you and where are you going? And when you do that, you can gain that foundational starting point. Like today is a new starting point. For me, for you, for everybody. It's a new starting point for those who choose it to be. We don't have to carry around the baggage of the past. We don't have to carry around, the regrets or the woulda, shoulda, couldas. We are now just here in the moment. Like, here's where I am. Here's where I'm going. And this is my game plan. You don't need to have an elaborate 500-page game plan. Just like, look, here's where I am. Here's where I'm going. And this is the next step. And similar to the cars that are driving at night, the headlights don't shine for the whole destination. They just shine a little bit ahead of you. If you can see where you are and adjust accordingly, take that step to become a healthier version of you. Take that step to mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually get from where you are to where you want to be. Take that step to identify who your key relationships are. And the ingredient to successful key relationships is time. Are you investing time into them? If not, schedule it and put some time into it to make it a priority. That not only is clear to you that it's a priority, but clear to the other person that they're a priority to you. And when you do that, you will take one step at a time with consistency to get from where you are to where you want to be. And then same thing for your financial situation. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever it is, what are you doing to move it forward? And with these new rules, with the new way of things have unfolded in this past year, if you can detach from all that past and stay focused in the present, you can still win and win big. And the key is, there's many keys, but roughly 150,000 people die each day. And, during this past year, I'd like to see numbers to see if that jumped or stayed the same, whatever. But prior to this past year, roughly 150,000 people around the world die every day. We're still here. It wasn't our day yesterday, and hopefully it's not our day today. The key is to live while we still can. There's a quote in the Bible when Jesus was talking to some of the fishermen, said, "Come with me." He's like, "Well, I got to go bury my father. I got to bury a loved one who passed." He's like, "Let the dead bury the dead." And that's pretty harsh, if you're, if I hear my grandma died today, it's a harsh statement if someone were to tell me that. But the reality is, we got to live. We don't know when that day is, so we got to live today and not be so afraid of dying that we never actually live. And that comes with doing the work, right? Putting in the proper work to listen to the right things and read the right things. And good information in leads to good information out. And my hope is, if you're here, this is one of the many good things you're tapping into that can help get you grounded and get you re-inspired, reinvigorated to say, yeah, you know what? I am going to take some actions to improve my health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I'm going to take some actions to improve my key relationships. I'm going to take some actions to improve my financial situation. And that's really what it's all about. Joyously creating. I have a statement saying, make today great. Today is all we've got. And I say that because we have to live that dichotomy of as if today were your last day, but also as if you're going to live to be 125 years old, right? So walk that line of going for it, but also doing it from a honest, ethical standpoint where, it's not crazy time. It's strategically taking the proper actions with consistency to get from where you are to where you want to be. And what I've noticed is a lot of people aren't clear of A, where they are, and B, where they want to be. Start doing some dreaming, start doing some planning, start doing some, what if I was able to take some actions to be that best version of myself? What if I was able to take some actions to improve or begin some key relationships? What if I was able to take some proper actions that begin with improper actions, by the way, that can help improve my financial situation? What if? Well, it's time to start dreaming again. It's time to grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and start dreaming. Start thinking, what is possible? What is possible for me? And I will tell you this. Well, it's a quote from Napoleon Hill: whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. We have a self-regulator within us. We can't come up with the ideas that we feel are outside of our reach. If you can conceive the idea of being that fit version of yourself, of being that amazing relationship, of being that financially successful version of you, if you can conceive the idea, believe it to a point where you know it to be just a matter of time catching up with it, it's a done deal already, you can achieve it. So start dreaming again, live while you still can. And not saying this in a, I'm saying this in an uplifting, inspiring manner, that quote from the Bible, let the dead bury the dead. Live while we still can. Live while I still can. Live while you still can. Today, so far isn't our day. It's not our day to not be here. Hopefully tomorrow is, and hopefully the next year, 10 years and beyond aren't. But live while you can. All right, hope that's inspiring. And by the way, if you are dealing with family members or friends passing, hopefully those are close to home reminders of like, look, our time here is not unlimited. Our time here is brief, regardless of how long we live. And while I'm still here, I'm going to go for it. Morning. I want you to go for it as well. So I got some helpful videos on my YouTube channel. If you go to tombeal.com, TOMBEAL.com, a lot of helpful videos there. I've got a free app on the iOS and Android devices. You can register for free at thesimplifier.com, thesimplifier.com. I hope this was helpful. Basically, it was therapeutic for me in dealing with, I'm probably going to get the phone call today or tomorrow of my grandma passing, and hopefully this helped you as well. Michael, great seeing you. Look forward to catching up soon. God bless you all. Talk with you soon. Make today great.